Don't blink, guys. It happens fast. Before Captain Buster can even get his fanny pack open and start with his calls, two big bucks come walking out. We guessed they had already been fighting sometime right before daylight. This is the 10 point that steps out and offers Captain Buster a shot. If you keep watching just above the buck, look right here. This is where the man walks out. Here he comes. This is a monster, guys. I've brightened it up and added to the contrast just as much as I can to see him as best we can. Here I brightened it up and as much as I can, guys, to where you can see these deer about as good as I can clean it up in this low light. But the second buck that steps out, that is a hoss. You can he's got a bigger set of horns than the 10 point that Captain Buster shot. You've got to really look close to see it, but his horns are a good bit lighter than this chocolate horn swamp buck that Captain Buster killed. Captain Buster continued to call, even after this buck was down, hoping that that bigger buck would come back. He did call in another buck, but it wasn't the one he was expecting. Just keep watching. After a few minutes of calling, this big-bodied spike-horn buck, believe it or not, guys, this is just a little spike. Here, Captain Buster stopped him because he was such a big-bodied deer. He thought it was going to be a bigger buck. But he's taking a look at him right now through the scope, realizing he's not a legal deer to take. But watch this little buck's reaction as he watches this big 10 point that's laying in the corn pile where he wants to come feed now. What Captain Buster saw was that little spike buck had walked back into view of him and the camera. Watch this little thing as he continues to wonder what in the world to do about that big old 10 point laying in the corn pile, and he wants to come feed.
Okay, my cousin Terry has come around, come in from this other way. He says it's closer to pull him out there than it is the way I come in, so. What is that, wood pile? God, that is a nice buck, ain't it?
It's a nice buck.
You know, from...
That deer go 180 pounds, 175, 180 pounds.
And the other one was, I mean, head and shoulders bigger than him.
Really?
Ooh, he was a hog, man.
I hear you, buck. And it's a 10 point.
How about that?
You can hang a ring on all three, on these other three. Well, these other two right here.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes.
The Lord, He is good.
Yes, He is.
All the time.
Oh, remember, regardless of whatever you do.
That's right. Nice, nice buck. Big old buck. Yeah. Now the other one.
Where did they come from?
They come over here. And this one here walked right out. I think they've been fighting. You know, and they might have both been trailing the same doe. But this one here walked out over on the corn pile. So he stopped. And I had, the old big boy was right on this side of the wood. About, maybe 5 steps on this side of that wood. And he didn't stop. And I mean, he was just way bigger than him. And his horn showed up just so much more than this one here. I mean, you could tell he was a hog now.
Right.
But I shot what stopped.
That is, well, that deer might go bigger than 180.
Let's see.
Easily 180. Look at his feet, how big his feet is.
Yeah. He's a nice one.
I can't. Yeah, let me get your video and get you talking about the thing. Had you already? Oh, you're recording now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's recording right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't see where it's so difficult to kill these things. I've had a good year. Good year. This one here is way smaller than the one that kept walking. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10 point. He's a nice one. He's I almost say he'll go. I still say he'll go 160, 65. Gonna be my guess. But he's a nice one. He's really been rubbing them horns. I think him and Big Boy have been fighting. That's the only reason I can think of that they'd be walking together, you know. They was about, what's that, 10, 15 yards apart, but they were going together. And I think Big Boy, he lucked up and kept going. Because if he'd have stopped, I'd have shot him over this.
What time did they come out, Buster?
Let's see. I'd been in the stand probably 20 minutes, so it was probably 6:35, somewhere along in there. 6:40.
And did you grunt him up?
No, I hadn't started grunting yet. I was gonna wait for it to get light enough that I could get video, you know. So I went ahead and I had the video camera going, and I had just looked over there and said, all right, we got enough light, it's looking good. And all of a sudden, old Big Boy come walking across. And first thing I did, what messed me up, I grabbed the binoculars so I could see what it was. And same time, this one here walked out, and I looked with the binoculars, and I said, oh Lord. I threw them things down and grabbed the rifle, but Big Boy had done walked on out by then, but this one here stopped and was feeding on the corn. So I drilled him. I don't see a exit wound. I shot him on this other side. And you know, he didn't do whole lot of kicking either. I shot it. I hit him right where I was aiming right there, but why ain't I got a exit hole over here?
He come through and stopped on the other side. It looks to me like.
Well, a 7 mag. Sure.
Right there.
Yeah, that's where it come out, right there. Another excellent shot by Captain Buster. The Lord, he is good.
Yes, he is.
All the time. Now.
And this, where'd you shoot this deer at, Buster?
On Lizard's Club. That's what we call it.
This is a big Chesterfield County buck.
I know y'all seen a piece of plywood in the back of my truck. This is what I use it for if I'm down here by myself. Makes it a lot easier. I just drop it down like that. Get the deer, whichever it is. If it's a buck, I put it around the horns. If it's a doe, I put it around her head. Because you can't put it around horns with a doe, you know, only a buck. Then trying to get him like that. I keep this here in the truck. Make you a noose. Go around his horn. And then if you're like me, you laboriously crawl into the truck. I can remember the day that I could have jumped in here. But you have to make do with what you got. And then you just slide him up forward. Like that. And it's a lot easier. Then I just slide the plywood back on top of him. And there you have it. Now, gotta get all my stuff. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna back up far. So I won't have to walk as far.
That's the price.
He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10-pointer.
All right, one more look.